When people talk to you about soft tissues, what they're really talking about is muscle and the connective tissue that binds the muscle into the shape that you recognize and links it together with other muscles throughout the body. Soft tissue, as the name implies, should be soft and pliable, but sometimes it's not, and when it's not, it can restrict movement and cause pain. Fortunately, it's pretty easy to treat. Oftentimes, you can treat it perfectly yourself with some tools like this and don't even need a rehab professional, okay? I'm going to show you how to use a lacrosse ball to soften up some muscles that are commonly tight in the chest wall region, your pec major and your pec minor. Might even get some deltoid too. The names really aren't important, but it's this little corner of your shoulder. We're going to use a lacrosse ball. Now, many times I've seen people say, oh yeah, I know how to do that, I just don't like to do it, because they're doing it on the floor. Their face is literally this far from the ground and they're wiggling around on the floor, or they put it up against a wall and kind of look and feel sort of ridiculous. We're going to get a little better than that. We're going to use our foam roller and our lacrosse ball together. The reason I like this is, number one, you don't look or feel ridiculous, so you're going to be willing to do it. Number two, you have terrific control over the direction of the ball and the amount of pressure you put into it. And number three, it allows you to do another technique we refer to as pin and move. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to place this on the wall about the height of my chest and then place the ball through here. What I'm going to do now, since I've got nice control with my hand, is I'm going to sort of survey that area by squishing all the tissues around it and feeling for something that might feel tight or tender. Let's say that spot hurts a little bit. I've got options. I can just lean in on it and hold direct pressure for a while, or I can sort of wiggle around and squish that whole area around it. It works better if you're not talking to a camera. Or the third one is pin and move. I think pin and move works better for my patients than anything else, so I always include it, but explore with your body and see what you like. Pin and move refers to when you find a spot that feels like, oh my gosh, that's a spot, like it really kind of hurts, that tells you that's a spot that needs attention. Normal tissue is accepting of pressure, meaning this really shouldn't hurt. Feels like pressure, it's not super comfortable necessarily, but it won't be painful. But if you go to a spot and like, oh, wow, like it changes the expression of your face, you found the spot you want to treat. So again, direct pressure, or you can wiggle around on it, or pin and move. So we're going to pretend this is a spot relevant to me. I'm going to put pressure on it that kind of hurts good, doesn't hurt, but sort of hurts good. And then that's my pin, and now my move. If I'm one who has pain overhead, overhead is what I want to do. If I have pain with reaching one way or the other, I will reach those ways. There are no really wrong answers here. You can just move in a way and feel for greater tension. Most of the time, straight up works great. So if this is my spot, chances are as I start to raise up around here and I kind of try to pull on that tissue, I'm gonna pin it here and stretch it. You can see just through the fabric of my shirt that as I raise my arm, that connective tissue lengthens up with it, or it's supposed to. If there's a restriction there, that can essentially act like it's pulling down on my arm, so my intent is maybe to press weight over my head, but my connective tissue is tight and that's pulling down on me. That may very well be a contributor to my shoulder pain. So we're gonna address that with this drill. Enjoy.